Society Matters.
Hello, and thank you for joining me today. I'm your host, Carin, and I'm here with my other host, Sami. This podcast is a production of the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance Center of Nassau County, and on today's episode of It's All About the Children on hmTv, we're going to talk a little bit about this hat to start, and also education. So let's get started.
Okay.
How you doing, Sami?
Very good.
Good.
Hi, everybody.
Good.
Okay, she mentioned, this hat, but you don't know what it says.
Oh.
And it says, no fear. Okay. And it's something very, very important. This is not the original cap.
Okay.
Blue Card, a charitable organization that helps in a sustained way people that live under the poverty line, got an award from the former mayor, Eric Adams. And when I was there with another survivor, Eric came to me, looked at my original hat, and he said, I love it, I love it, I love it. And he said it so often that I got sick and tired, and I gave him the original hat.
You gave Eric Adams your hat?
I gave my hat.
Wow.
So somebody else, knowing how important the hat is for me, or was, decided to make a copy of it, but the other one was dark navy blue.
Okay.
This is a different color, and the letters are a little bit different.
It looks very nice with your eyes.
Thank you. But why is this so important for me?
Tell us.
I think about 4 years ago, I don't know exactly, they organized, I don't know who exactly started it, but it was a rally in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
They expected at least 500,000 people, maybe more. To my surprise, there were almost every single major Jewish organization, co-sponsored. However, only 3,000 people showed up.
Oy.
We had wonderful speakers, each one better than the other.
Do they
We
know?
had a senator. Among them, I know one of them was the son of Elie Wiesel. But they were wonderful speakers. There was a senator. There was a congressman. Not a single Jewish leader was there.
Oh, my God. What was the reason for the low turnout?
The media was not there, and nobody knows about it. And my major point is that we will not achieve anything unless the media is involved.
So who organized that rally?
I don't remember exactly who organized it.
You don't remember, or you don't want to tell me?
No, I don't remember.
Because you know I'm going to call them up and be like,
I know that, but I honestly don't remember. My memory is gone.
Okay, it's not gone.
But this is what is so important.
But this is part of why I am a Michiganer also about some of these things, because I feel like if we put the effort in, we have to really put the effort in. You can't half put the effort in.
The most important thing, what I tell the young people, to emulate an American leader that I admire.
Which is?
Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay, I like him.
Martin Luther King Jr., marched nationwide, brought, different ethnic groups with him. The first group that marched with Martin Luther King Jr., believe it or not, were the Jewish people, Rabbi Heschel. But because he did it in a non-violent way, many groundbreaking legislations have been established. So it's important to emulate him, and to learn from him. And he was not afraid to say what he thought, whether it's about Israel, Zionism, whatever it is. He was not afraid, and he was very honest. And that's what we young people, this is young people's world. And they have to learn from the past. You cannot make any changes if you do not know the past. The best way I explain it to the kids is I say a very famous violinist. I'm not sure, but it's probably was Isaac Stern. But it was asked, how do you go to Carnegie Hall? And that person said very simply, practice, practice, practice. So the kids asked me, what do you do with the Jew hatred? Obviously, they call it anti-Semitism, but I prefer to use Jew hatred because that cannot be linked with another type of form of hate. It's set on its own. And I said the only ways you can do it to combat Jew hatred is only through education, education, education. And that's why I start with young kids before they are indoctrinated. And obviously, I speak to everybody else.
Oh, gosh. There are so many ideas that are going on in my head now after what you said. Where do I even begin? Can I go back for a minute to these organizations that put this whole rally together? Sure. You said that there was...
By the way, if you disagree or you have a different point of view, feel comfortable to say it, okay? I've heard it all. I'm not offended.
No, I think that the intention was good, but then you said that all of these big organizations supported it. So if these big organizations supported it, so people, it seems like a lot of organizations are willing to support things, but when it comes time to action, there's not as much action as there is
That's exactly
talk.
what I tell the kids. When I go through the stages that the Holocaust happened, and I start with the end of World War I.
Okay.
It kept escalating because people did not react in time and appropriately. And it came only in the Holocaust case, it came to a point of no return. And so basically what I'm saying, knowledge without action and without the media, okay, has very little impact. So my goal is to empower the young people to become leaders. And one of the organizations that does it effectively is Stand With Us.
And you say that they're doing it with the high school level a lot? Or
the high school level and campuses, yes.
You also said a moment ago that one of the things that you really loved about Martin Luther King was that he spoke about all these messages and they were controversial, but it was always done with nonviolence.
Yes.
And so what we're seeing today is a normalization of violent behavior. We're accepting and tolerating violent behavior. And we have leaders that are in pretty high positions and they're not doing anything about it. There are no consequences.
Correct.
And so that is a big message that's being sent to the youth. So while you and I may go around and want to put more light into the world, which I love and agree, I try to bring more glitter and sparkle into the world, right? How can we combat them? They're big Michiganers, and we're like coming at it with love and nice, and they're like, it's scary.
Well, emotion overpowers, intelligence.
So this is now I have to take all my emotion out of it.
And when people act on emotion, it's very difficult to talk to them.
I know.
Or to change their opinion. But remember one thing, you never know how you can reach somebody. And I'll just give you a personal example, to understand. And like I said before in a previous segment, when I say something, I want to explain my point of view.
Okay.
So I talk to the people that the reason that I'm still suffering every single second of my life from the medical experiments and because of my age. I tell them that one of the reasons that I can deal with it probably better than other people is because I have a very high pain tolerance. And I give an example what I mean by that. And I said, I went to a dentist, gave me 4 injections, did not numb me, He wanted to reschedule my appointment. And I said, you don't have to. For some reason, I cannot scream. I don't understand it, but it's a fact. And I told them, when I lift my finger, you will stop. I lower it. You can drill. And I just wanted to do it just to explain what it means high pain tolerance. And I spoke in Fort Lee in New Jersey to 9th graders. And I received thank you letters from them. And one 9th grader said she went to the dentist and she said, if Sami can do it, so can I. She told the dentist not to give her an injection. And I was on the floor laughing. I said, that was not my intention.
So cute.
But guess what?
But look what you inspired in somebody.
But guess what?
What?
The most important thing. At the end, she said, if Sami, with everything that he went through, if he can still smile, if he can still be happy, so can I. So we never know. We talk to people and we don't know, okay, the impact that we have on them. So therefore, possibly that I have the success because I don't promote myself, but possibly it's because I'm authentic. I do not look up to people. I go to a rabbi. Sometimes I will call him rabbi, and sometimes I will call him by first name. I'm going to a general, I'll call him by first name. I don't look up people, but I look down to anybody else either. So I'm basically authentic. I'm my true self, and I'm happy that with everything that I went through, okay, who I am has not changed.
Because that's your choice.
That is my choice. Mm-hmm. That is correct.
That's right.
And I had many reasons. Okay, one of the things when I don't talk only about the Holocaust. For me, the Holocaust is the background. I don't dwell on it like the other survivors. But the interesting part is that for me, it's important for them to learn and not to be sad. Okay? And my motto in life, you know what it is. I am not what happened to me. The Holocaust did not define me. The fact that I live under the poverty line does not define me. The fact that I cannot be in touch with my son and my grandchildren, that does not define me. What defines me is what I do. And my mission in life is to make this, in a very small way, a better world, a more loving one.
Oh, I love that. I'm very lucky. I feel like I was blessed when I got to meet you, so...
That's your problem.
And now, but then I come to learn what's really going on behind the scenes, you and all your adopted grandchildren. I told you I'm going to have a bone to pick with you.
I know that. Why don't you tell them what your bones are? What is it?
So I was getting the contract made up for my Zaidi here until I find out he has another 12 grandchildren all over the place that I don't know that he's adopting. Now I have to fight for your time.
Well, you will have to form a cousins
We're going to call
club.
Yes, I think. And so look what I did. I decided to take the negative, right? All these grandchildren you have, and I turned it around. I said, we can have a cousin club, right? There you go.
You see?
We can even get hats made for our cousin club. So one of the things that is really inspirational, I think that I want you to also talk about a little bit, two things, if possible, in the remaining time that we have. One is, like, on those days that you're feeling like, or I should ask you this, do you have days that you feel like, I don't want to get out of bed, or like, I don't feel like going to a speaking engagement?
No.
Or, okay, you don't, because you're...
I am recognized by the state of New York by being mentally ill.
You are mentally ill because this guy has more, open up his calendar. He's got more vacations and more speaking engagements planned than the vacation planner.
But because I turn negatives into something positive.
Well, this is...
Okay, I don't have a bad day.
Okay, so then that was my question.
I have days that I have difficulty walking. I have days that things are not going exactly the way I want. But I just deal with it and then I move forward. So I wouldn't say that I have a bad day.
Okay. So how do you share that message when you're going into schools, like to have this positive attitude? Because I know you talk a lot about your story, and I'm sure
that's a very
kids
good
ask.
question.
That, and then if we have time, one more thing.
Which is the second one?
Which is the second one? Well, let's see. Let's go first with this. I like this better.
Okay. Say again, what was the first question?
So when you go to schools, like what are the things that you're saying to kids? And maybe it would be a two-part. So I'll ask you. The second part of the question was going to be, you talked about things we should be looking for or things we should notice.
Okay. Well, one of the things is I have a quality that very few people have, and I compartmentalize. I think that Carnegie, Andrew Carnegie, I think he wrote a book, if I'm not mistaken, and basically
How to Win Friends and Influence People?
Something like that.
Yeah, Dale Carnegie.
I don't remember the title.
Yeah.
But basically, he had the idea, that to compartmentalize when you have different tasks. Okay, so not to deal with the second issue until you solve the most important one. So that was something that I've always been able to do. Very few people can do it, and it was not something that I have learned. It was always there with me, so I can compartmentalize. That is one of the things that helps me. The other thing is, I don't know if you heard of a Holocaust survivor, a Auschwitz survivor, a very well-known author and psychologist, internationally known, Edith Eger.
I don't know that person.
Okay. She is right now, I believe, 97, if I'm not mistaken. I was on a panel with her when she was 94.
Oh, yes. I know who she is.
Right.
I do know her.
Okay, and she wrote a book, The Choice.
Really?
And her sentence was, we are prisoners of our own mind. I never read her book, and I came to the same conclusion. How did I come to the same conclusion? I compared the brain with a computer. Okay, you cannot, in a computer, you cannot put a comma instead of a period, the computer will not recognize it. Interestingly enough, what you put in your head, stays. You may not remember it, but is there, cannot be erased.
I know.
So therefore, what I do is I think positively. Because of that, I use positive words. That allows me to have a positive outlook in life, a better, life.
And then to ripple that energy throughout. Yeah.
There it goes. And if you put something like, for instance, somebody tells you you cannot do ABC, that's not a reflection on who you are. That's a reflection on the person that says it.
Right.
Okay? And you should never stop with what you have achieved, always to push yourself further. And life will teach you that you will discover certain strengths that you never thought that you have.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I do, and that's what kept me to remain a positive person.
It's very interesting because as you're talking and as you're saying these things, it's reminding me. So I wrote a book with a friend of mine a couple of years ago. We tried to do some public speaking and some shows in schools all around. And then when COVID hit, we had to stop production of our shows. We were able to do probably about 5 or 7 shows, and it was really cool. We called the show Mission Me, which was mindfulness leads to empowerment. The idea that if we can practice mindfulness, we can be empowered, right? Like you said. And then when COVID hit, we decided to take one of the ideas in the book and we wrote this story called Bye Bye Brain Bully, knocking out self-doubt. And it's all about basically what you're saying, this brain bully in our mind and how we have the choice. And you said something early on, and I don't remember if it was in the last episode, but it was about like sometimes it just takes one person, meeting one person or one thing happening that will change the course of your life or the direction or your outlook or something.
I was talking about the 6th grade that changed my life.
And I feel like maybe we met and like maybe the Hashem brought us together because I think that while I put this out into the world, I don't practice it enough. And you talk about practice, practice, practice. And it's true because the brain, we can change our brain. We can actually change our brain. And what you're trying to do when you go and you speak to these kids is exactly not train their brain or change their brain, but to give them opportunities to think. I put it in a different
way. I say, I cannot change anybody. Nobody can change anybody. We can change only somebody's perspective. That person has to accept, okay, what I said, okay, and then they have to make the change.
But your delivery, your approach, your whole thing, your whole attitude, your energy, you bring a light when you come because there are other people that may want to try and do the same thing but are not able to because of who they are. So I just want to say thank you for being that light. I don't know, like maybe Hashem heard my prayers and you came.
Well, you do the same thing in a different way.
Well,
as a matter of fact, a Chabad rabbi gave me a very interesting compliment.
Okay.
And he said, you say exactly what I say, but you say it in lay people's terms. And I do it from the religious way, but basically we're on the same page.
Okay, so same message.
So it was a very interesting comment. And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I'll say it again. The greatest compliment I feel got from Chabad when they said, you are like a menorah.
Yes.
You bring light where there is darkness.
And that's what we need more of.
In a very small way, I feel very blessed that I'm able to do it.
I feel very blessed that I'm able to do this with you. And I am really I can't even believe how you keep up with the calendar that you have because your calendar is full. More full than I think any person that I know. So I really do appreciate you coming and taking some time to talk today and fitting me into your schedule, your busy schedule. Is there anything else that you want to discuss before we get going?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to say kudos and thank you to my dear friend, Bernie Forspan, that allows us to come here and to have the
he
podcast.
Is awesome.
And if nothing else, I hope everybody will have the opportunity to see his documentary. They got at least 10 awards to the best of my knowledge.
15 awards.
15?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think it's going to be airing on PBS, right? During March, I think it'll be airing on PBS, right? March, April.
Okay.
The Weight of Memory is the name of the documentary.
Okay. And if you have the opportunity, see it. I have seen many documentaries, but I will tell you without hesitation, it's one of the best, if it's not the best documentary I have ever seen. In the future, we will also have other speakers, that can give us their perspective in how to do certain things, in how to accomplish things. So it's not about complaining. It's not about blaming anybody. It's basically looking for solutions.
I want to thank everybody who joined us. Thank you, Sami. Thank you, Bernie. Thank you, hmTv. And if you enjoyed exploring the information and history and stories in today's conversation, please be sure to check out other podcasts here on hmTv. Subscribe, share, and stay connected for more engaging conversations. And until next time, take care and be well.